So this is where we left in the last video, and so far all the things are looking good to me. So the very first thing I want to do is, like, we have already tested this fork one, so let's test one more time and let me show you that everything's working fine. So I'm going to remove this one and I have to get into this particular folder. So I'll say cd fork. I'm here, and here you can see in this script I'm doing this transaction on the forknet. So this is what I have already explained you. If I take you into the script, here we are doing the transfer of the token from WETH RAV WETH to USDC. So we have this one, and I try to use this particular account which is already given to all of you guys in the starter file, and I want to do the swap. So if I copy this one, because this is the testing time, so let's copy and let's test this out on the Etherscan. So if I come back here in the Etherscan, and if I check the fund this particular account has in its wallet, so let's paste this one and hit enter, and it's going to give you all the details. So still this particular account has 24 ether, and you will find all of this token. So if I come back here and let's try to perform the swap USDC, and I'm going with this like wrap ether. So first thing I have to do is I have to run this particular command. So this is the command which I have to get. So I have to type, so I can simply copy this particular command, and that's what I can simply paste here and hit enter, and it's going to perform the swap on the forknet. So just wait, soon the transaction will complete. So this is the before amount, like 24 ether, this is the rat balance 165, and this is the USD balance. And after the swap, like, it's went down to 14, this one is still the same balance, and here we have this particular USDC. So this particular script is working absolutely fine. It's working fine. We can easily able to do the swap. So now if I come back here and I try to see what fund we have here, you can able to find all the token this particular account has, and you can literally pick any account for performing the swap. But make sure it has the liquidity, because if it doesn't have the liquidity, not going to perform the swap. So the basic transaction we have done with this, like ETH to USDC. So this script is working absolutely fine. Now what I'm going to do is, this looks good. Now we're going to do some experiment on the front end, because that's where we have to do the testing. So let's open up your terminal. Now we have to get out of this folder, go to the main directory, clear up your terminal, and now to test our application, first we have to run our local node. But before we run, we have to do a couple of setup in our MetaMask. So open up here, I'll go back to this, and I'm going to open this MetaMask, and here we have to, you can see this is calling me like 10,000 ether, but it's not a real one. I'm going to click here and I'm going to take you to the add network, and here you will find all the details about the network, and we have to set couple of variables in our local hardware network. So if I go back to the network, you can able to see the information which I have said, and here I have this particular one called MainNet fork, and here I have added all of this information. So we have this, you can call it whatever you want, but this particular endpoint is very important, because when you will run your hardware node, hardware will default create this RPC URL for you, which you can use to connect with the forknet. This is the chain ID. You can simply ignore this warning, and sometime what happened that hardware will update their chain ID, so you can simply pick that, and this is the currency. All you have to do is to save. So this is the one setup you have to do. Once you're done with the setup, all you have to do is to simply close that one and open up your MetaMask. It's working fine. We are connected with that. Now we're going to simply come back here and we're going to start our local node. So all you have to do is to simply run this particular command, npx hardhat node, enter, and it's going to start the application, and it will run the hardhat node. And this is the exact RPC endpoints hardware will create, which we have provided in our MetaMask, and it will give you 20 plus accounts, which you can simply copy the private key and simply import. So this looks fine. Make sure to keep running this, then we can easily able to do the transaction and test. Now here I'm going to start the application, type npm run dev, and this one is going to start the application on local 3000. Now simply come back to the browser, I'll go back here and I'm going to reload the page, and boom, here is everything's working fine. So our application got started, everything is working absolutely great. Now we can simply able to connect. So click on this connects, and I'm connected with the MetaMask. Now all you have to do is to simply click on this, and here notification is working fine. All we have to do is to pass the address of the token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same token. So let's bring this down, and I'm going to get into this. We already have the tokens, so I'll get this token. So this one is the wrap ether, copy and paste here, and it's going to fetch the information about the token. You can see it's fetched the information. It's a wet token, address, and how much fund this particular account has. So if I click on this, okay, it's throwing me this particular error, so I know what is the problem. It says set token is not a function. So if I take you here, this is the one which causing the issue. So we don't need to call this particular function, we have to call this particular function select token. So all we have to do is to simply come back here and replace the function, and it's going to select the token for you. Okay, make sure to replace the function. Now come back here, and we have to get the address of the token as well. So I'll come back here, not in the context here, and let's get it. Copy, come back here, I'll reload the page and try to simply click on open. Is going to open that. I'll paste the address here. I have that. If I click on this, it's going to update the balance here. So I have this much fund, which you guys have seen when I was testing. This is the symbol, and here we have that one. Now we have to select the second token. So I'll go back here in my code, and this is the second token which I have taken. Now I can come back here, click on this, paste here, and I will simply click on this exchange, not exchange, sorry. Here we have the balance. We have to click it here. First we have to select, and you can see this much USDT I have. Currently it's 0, pretty less, but it's working fine. I can simply paste here, select, and here we have this one. Simply check the balance. So this one is the width, and this one is the USDT. But what I want to come back here, and when I'm clicking on the second one, like when I'm clicking on this, it's opening this one, but I don't want to open that. So let's come back here, and let's do one thing. Not here, we have to go into the hero section. So we have to come back here, and here we have all of this section. So like this one is the dynamic one, and here we have this one open. With this one is for the second token. So what I will do, I don't need this one because I don't want to open, because we already have that. Now it will work fine. So like once I will reload, I can come back here, I can go into the context, and I can simply get this context, get the token, come back here, I can simply paste here, paste the address and select. I got the address. Now I can go back again, I can get the address number 2, and I can simply paste here, click here, paste, and that's it. We can simply disable this one because we allow to user to put the amount from here, not from here, and we can click on the swap. So before we do that, let's do a couple of changes. So come back here, and we have this function already with us. We have this function swap. So like I can come back here in the token, and here we have the function in the hero section. I'll come back here. This is the swap we have. I can send the information about these two token. So like here we are attaching this function. So we already have the function of the two token, like token 1, token 2. So this is the two information I'm going to send. So copy this one, and we're going to simply paste here. So we have this two token. Now I can simply come back here, and I need the fee as well. So if I come back to the context, you will notice this is the input amount. So simply copy this one, and I'm going to get that input amount from here. So here we have the input amount, and which is going to be set. Here we have the loader, opener, all of this we have. And I can come back here on the pages. So like if I come back here on the pages, go to the index, and here you will find that here we have the input amount. So this is the input amount. I can also send this. So simply copy this one, and I'm not sending, so I'm going to simply send this one, input amount. I'll copy, come back in the hero, I'm going to receive that input amount, and that's what I have to simply pass in the function. So if I come back here, let's pass that. Order is very important. The way you are receiving, you have to define in the exact order, because we are passing the value straight away. So we got the two token and the input amount. Now this is the amount we have. I'm going to simply come back here, and I can simply take this information from here. So like this is the open one we have, and here we have this input field. On that I can simply call this one. So I can remove this one and say on change target dot value. So it will give us the information, and we have to simply set this. So I'll come back here, and I'm going to simply set this one. So this particular information will be stored, that how much fund user wants to transfer. So let's test this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here in the context, not in the come back to the context, and here we have to do the check. So let's do one thing. Like what I can do is let's bring it down, and I'm going to simply comment all of this. Let's test out this variable, that are we getting that information or not, because we have to make it dynamic. So I'll say console dot log, and I'm going to simply paste that. Got it? This looks pretty good. Now I'm going to simply come back here. I'm going to reload the page. Let's do the inspect element, and let's go to the console, and here we have to simply pass down the information. So like I have to check this one as well. So what I will do is I can come back here and I can get the two token. So I can simply copy the first token, paste here, click on this, it's going to open, paste here. Here we have the information, select, and it's got information, it's got updated. If I click on this, you're going to see it will remove that. So it means it's working fine. So it will have here. So reload the page, click on this, paste here, and we have this one. So this one looks good. Now let's do the same thing with the second token. So I'll come back here, I'll copy the second token, come back, click on this, paste here, and this much fund I have for the USDC. So far things are good. Now let's try to click on this exchange, and we'll have the information about this tokens. Click on the exchange, and here you can see somehow we got this undefined. So I know why it's happening. So what I can do is I can come back here, and let's try to console log out this information. So that's all information we are passing down from here in this. Okay, my bad. So there it is. You can see that there is no information exactly here. So where I have passed those function. If I come back here, and this looks good, there's no problem in that. This is the hero section, and this is also good. So somehow I passed the function in which, okay, this is one. Simply copy this one, come back to the hero, and this is where we have attached, where we have to send all this information. So save it. So when the user will click, it will have all the information. So I have, okay, here we have this one. So like I have click on the image, so I don't need to pass any information in the image because it's a reset option, reset button. I hope you have noticed this, guys. Now let's come back here. We have all of this. Now if I click on this, it throws me this particular error. So this is the error which I'm getting. It says swap input amount is not defined. Okay, it's not defined. I have to get this one. Copy this one, and this is what I have to pass here. Input amount, and if I come back to the index, there you can see this is the exact I'm passing, and this is what I have here. Got it? So far things are pretty good to me. Now I can come back here, and if I click on this, if I'm like I want to transfer, like do some 5, if I click on this exchange, here you can see we have all of this information. So like I have the information about the token, chain ID. So this looks fine. This is the second token information I have. Exact information I'm getting, because the information will come in the form of object. So we have the information of both the token, and we also have the information about the price, and it's a string. So we got all of this information. Now all we have to do is to come back here, go back to the context, and here we have to make it dynamic. So let's start with that. So first thing what I will do is, we have all of this information. I'm going to bring this back, and we are not using this, so I'm going to simply I'll just try to comment this out so you guys can take it as a reference. We need this chain ID and this chain ID. So instead of going with the hardcode data, I'll go with the actual chain ID. So like here I have this one. I'm going to comment this one. I'm going to bring this back because this will contain the chain ID, and here it says network, and which we are getting from here. So we have this provider, we have the chain ID, dynamic chain ID. Looks good. Now I'm going to format that. Now here we have the tokens, so I'm going to bring this back, and we already have the information about the token. So what we have called, so like if I come back here, we already have this information. So it's going to return the token, and inside the token we have the address. So let's remove this one. And if I go back to the context constants, here we have simply returning. So I'm calling this what? Address. Okay, I'm calling this address. Come back to the context, and here we have to simply call that. So this is the address, the first one. Now we have to do the exactly is the same thing with the second. So it will have the address of both the token. So this is how we can make it dynamic. And here we have to simply turn it back. Bring it back is going to be the same for the first token, because that's what we are getting. We have to do the same thing from here as well. This is the second token, and here we have this one provider. Let's bring it back, and that's the information we are passing. This is the information we are passing because that's what we need in our get pool function. And we have the minimum fee and the provider. So I'm going to bring this back as well. And here you can see I'm going with this hardcode amount, but I have the fund. This is the swap amount. So this is the one. I'm going to simply come back here and I'm going to replace this one. And that's how we can make it dynamic. And here we have to build this straight. I can simply bring it back. Don't need to do any changes in here because this is the pool, the information, this is the chain, this is the token B, and here we have the input amount which we are passing from here. And here we are looking for this particular one, exact input. I hope you guys are familiar with the exact input and all of that options. Then we have the straight. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to bring this swap back, and here we have this one params. I'm going to bring this back as well, and these are the simple things we have. So instead of going with the transaction, what I will do is let's take this back and let's try to uncomment this and check how much fund I have. So like this is the balance which is going to be to be get, and I'm going with this particular address. I'm going with this hardcode address so we can get and check all of this function we have built. So this looks fine. We cannot able to do the transaction because we don't have the method which I talked about. So if I take you back in the fork one, we don't have this impersonate account function which Hardhead gives in the front end. So like here we are using this impersonate. I hope you guys have understood that what it does. You have to put the address of any account and it's going to create the signer object that for particular account which you can use to do the trade. But we cannot use this particular method in the front end. So that's the problem we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the basics transaction, but it will work absolutely fine. So we have this script. Now before we do all of the things, let's try to call it out because we are passing all this information which is absolutely required. So let's test this out. So what I will do is I come back here. I lost somehow the addresses, so I'll come back here. This is the addresses of the two account which I'm going to use it. Copy, come back here, reload the page, and if I come back and click on this open, you can see we are getting this one address because it's trying to fetch out, but there's no address. So I'm going to simply paste this one and it's going to fetch the information, and there it is. First token. I'll come back in the terminal, not code, copy, come back here and paste here. Here we have select the token. So this is the two token I have. Now I have to give the amount, so I'll go with something like 5. If I click on this exchange, it's going to perform this, and here we have some sort of problem. It says provider get network is not a function. So here we have to do is all we have to do is to simply call this await, and that will fix the issue. Got it? Now come reload the page, and here we have to provide the information. So let's click on this open and we have to get that. So come back here and I can go back to the deploy. Let's get the address, open it, paste here and select. That's the one token we have. I can go back again. I can get the second one and I can simply click, paste here. Here we have the information. Now I can click on this exchange, and here you can see still I'm getting this particular error. This time I'm getting on the chain. So this is called on change. So if I open this one, you can see this information is here. So it's called, okay, my bad, it's called chain ID with a small, not with a capital. So this kind of refactoring, when you do, you will come across this kind of error. Okay, so don't need to be panicked, it's a normal. So once we have the information about the network, then we are getting it. or you can get this information from here as well. Instead of getting this information from the network, what you can do is this information is already there in the token, so we can simply copy and we can simply replace that, so it will have the actual networking. So you can simply comment this one. Got it? Now let's do the testing one more time. Copy, come back here, open, paste, got the information. Now we can come back, get the second token, and here we can simply click on open, paste the second, and set it. So we got that set up. Now click on this exchange, and here it says that right now we have a problem on the new pool, means things are working fine. So it says ABI map is not a function, so that's the thing we have to check. Finally I found the problem, so it's right up here. So we have to call ABI, obviously because it's an object and we have to get the ABI. So this looks pretty fine. We can simply reload the page and we can come back here and we have to get the address of the token. Okay, it's a part of development. Sometimes you have to do for 2 and 3 days, then you can able to find out that what exactly went wrong in your code. So don't be frustrated when you are actually coding. Save it, and here we have that one. So we got the balance, we got this. Now we can simply pass the amount, so I'll go with 5, click on this exchange, and here we have that one. So this time we got something else, cannot convert undefined to big int. So here we have to do, and this time the problem's happening in the for row in line number 208 in passing the amount. So it says ether. I can come back here, go back to the context, and this is the problem we have. So here we have to call this ether, not small ether. Sometimes this auto typing create a lot of mess. Again, let's give a try. Copy, come back here, click on this open, paste, and select that token. Now we have to come back here, copy, come here, click on this open, select, and now we can simply do the swap. I can say 5, click on this exchange, and here I got this problem in the router 3. So slowly we are improving. It's happening in 133 in the build trade function. So this is the one, simple spelling mistake, S. Here we have to pass S because that's what we are receiving. So like things are looking fine. I don't know what exactly went wrong. I stopped the application and I restarted and everything's looked good, but I want you to recheck everything. Okay, so this is the build function, this is the route we have, this is the route we threw. Make sure to check the spelling, filter, and this is the map. Make sure to provide the exact spelling because this trade data will have this input amount and output amount which user will pass and what he will receive. This is the v3, check this one, this is the next, and at the end we are simply passing this one. So far things are good. Now let's test this out. So again I'm going to take this one, copy, where we are, and we can come back, click on this open, paste here, select, and come back here. Let's get the second token, open, paste, select, and we have to have this. I go with 5. Now click on this exchange, and boom, you can see all of this information. So this is the information about the pools. You can able to find the liquidity, you can able to find about the square, this tick data provider, token 0, all the information, token 1, and here we have the token price which you can easily able to compare. There's a lot of things. This is the trade object, in that we have the swap and we have all of this line. This is the exact input amount. So this one is very important, which is going to match that what exactly you're going to go, and is will have all this information about the ethers and the transaction volume. This is the output, also good. And here we have this slippage, that how much slippage tolerance we are providing. So I will go with this 5%, but I want you to go with the 5%. Don't allow to give user, because sometimes user create a lot of differences in the slippage, and due to that the transaction will fail. So if you want to build a separate system where you're going to handle the slippage and all, so that's going to be a different topic, but this is the slippage you have to provide for an industry standard. And here we have the call data which we're going to provide with the value. And here you can see we got the balance. So we got the balance of this ether balance this particular account has, and this is the token 1, this is the token B. Why it's undefined? So let's me come back here. So somehow the token B is getting undefined. So this is the one we have. Okay, there is a problem. So I can simply copy this one, and this is one we have B. So make sure to do this change. Let's change the other one. So this one also had the same issue. I'll say B. Save it. Got it? Now things are looking fine. Let's do one more time so we can see. I'm going to take this first one, and here we got it. Open, paste here, and we have this. Then we'll go with the second token. So I'll come back in the code, get the second token, and I'll come back here, and let's open this one, paste here, exchange. So we got that. Let's provide the volume, otherwise it will fail. And if I say this exchange, you can see this time the fund is, we got it. So this is the token A, and this is the token B balance, which is very little. Means we are getting the data. So whatever we have built, that's all working absolutely fine here. So instead of going with this recipient address, what if I try to go use my own account, own address, which I can do it very easily. And now let's try to do the swap. The moment I will do that, it's going to throw me an error. So let's first uncomment this. And here we have all of this logs. So let's uncomment this one as well. This one as well. And the reason why it will fail, because here we are using different address, and the signer object we are getting from the provider into this has a different user. If I come back here in the try and catch, so this one is also I have to bring back. Once I have this, now I can simply uncomment this one. This one. Comment this. That looks good. So what we are doing, we are building this transaction object, and we are passing the value. This is the call data which we have as I show you, and this is the value, and this is the address which we're going to receive it. And it will fail. The transaction will fail. So let's come back here. Let's get the address. I want to swap from wrap ether to USDC. That's what I have. I can click on this open, paste here, selected. We got the amount. Now I can come back here. I can get the second token. Now I can click on this open, paste here, select, and now I want to go with 5, or you can want whatever you want. Now click on this exchange, and here it says that signer is not defined. Okay, you can see signer is not defined. So we can get that signer. So let's come back here. I forgot to get it signer. Let's get this all. Get this all, copy. That's what I can simply come back here in the context, go right down below here, paste. We don't need this contract, remove this one. And here we have this, bring the address of the user. This is the signer, and this is the signer object which we have to provide. And we have the user address for performing the trade. So this is the signer, and that's what we are passing down here as a making the transaction. Now let's do one more time. Again, this is a part of development. You have to do testings a lot. Development is only 20%. Like the rest is your testing. And then you can simply improve your application based on the errors, based on the problems you face. Open, paste here, you got the balance. Now provide the amount. I'll say 5. I'll call it exchange. And here we got an error. You can see the transaction failed. And the reason is that the signer is different and the user who is performing the address is different. So you can see it's called mismatch. From address mismatch. That's why we cannot able to perform the swap. So we all have the address. Remove this one. The address is mismatch. So all we have to do is to perform the actual here. So I have the address here. I can simply replace this one and make it dynamic. So I can, instead of going with the test account, I can go with the real account. I can simply come back to the recipient, placed here. It will give us the balance, paste here, and I can paste the here as well. And I can have the address. So this is going to be the same address. So if I select this one and come back here, it has the same address. So I'm going to simply provide the address. That's the changes you have to do to make it dynamic. Looks good. And I have to also do the changes here as well in the context. So if I do the changes in the context, I cannot able to get the information like this. So I can simply pass this one. And now we are doing the, bring this back. Then it will work. Sometimes it happens. Now I can click on this open, come back here, go to the deployed, get the address, and come back to the application, paste here, and here we have the information. Right now I have nothing in this account. I can go back again to my and get the second token, come back here, click on this open, paste here, and I don't have anything. If I simply try to make a call, I'll get an error without an amount. So you can see here I got it, and it say that argument must be value. So I can simply pass the value and I can make a call, exchange, and you can see all the funds I have opened, and here it says sending 5 ETH, call this confirm, and here you can see calling success, we have successfully sent the money and the transaction is went through. So if I come back into the code, and here we have that, so this is the address and this is the address. You can see we can easily able to do the transaction, but we don't have any actual fund. That's why before it was 0, we had this much money as an ETH. If I show you my account, this much fund we had, but we have used the 5, and after the transaction is successful because I don't have any fund, but still the transaction is working fine. So how beautifully it's come together. You can, if you have the real fund, it will automatically do the transaction for you. Again, if I click on this and if I come back here, go to this deploy, get this token, copy, paste here, that's the 0 we have. Now I can come back here one more time, paste here, open, paste, change, and let's call this time 100 and click on this exchange, and here it's open that we are sending the 5 ETH. Click on confirm, and here you can see the transaction went through. All we have to do is, if you have the real fund, then you can easily able to perform the swap. Right now I don't have any value in this token, that's why I cannot able to do that, but everything is working fine. It's beautifully. So all the transaction we are doing on the ForkNet. I hope you guys can appreciate that how things are coming together and how we are performing this entire swap. So this is really beautiful. You can easily able to display the transaction balance and all of that. That's absolutely good. So hope you guys have understood that what exactly we have done here. And when I was testing, I found few changes need to be done. So I see this particular spelling is wrong. container, container, that's what you have to call it. Now if I click on this open, it looks fine. If I click on this, it's resetting, looks good. It's beautiful. So I can simply close this deploy one, and I want to do few things. Like here we have that one, and if I look, let's bring let's bring this deployed one back, and I'm going to simply copy this one, copy, and come back here, and if I click on this, past here, so that's the first token. Should I keep this one, this input, or should I remove it? It's totally up to you. I'll just go with this one. You can keep it or you can remove it, because that one is for the output amount, and most of the swap platform will have this one. So I'm going to remove this one. Let's remove this, the second. Got it. Now click on that, and here we have the font. Now if I do the inspect element, you can able to perform the swap. Just ignore that and click on the swap, and here it says the value must be a string. Okay, my bad, I have to provide the value, and click on this file, and there it is. The transaction went through, we are sending the money, confirm, and finally the swap is happened. If you have the token, the swap will be reflecting here. Beautiful. So I hope you guys can appreciate that what exactly we have done. You can easily able to run this script on the back end. Like if you want to build some sort of bot, trading bot, and you want to execute after checking the balance, then you can simply do that. Looks fine. And here we have the front end. We are using this library, we are using this trade volume, we have this SDK, they have the ABI, all this internal function, and this one is dynamic. Like you can straight away deploy and you can easily do and check this one. So simply close this one, and This is the build function we have. This is the testing account. I want you to go and check the fund. It has a lot of money. I'm going to simply remove this one. So let's clean a bit. I'm going to leave this as a comment so you guys can have a reference. This looks good to me. All of these funds are looking fine. And let's do one thing. This is the before and this is the after the swap. So we already have this notification message. So we'll say notify. I'll say notify success and then so it's going to show the pop-up message that what font exactly have, and if anything goes wrong it's going to capture that as well. So do one thing, let's take a if else statement. So we'll say if there is no token 2 or there is no fund swap input. If that's the case, then we have to simply return it. So what we're going to return, we're going to return this in error component. You can do experiment like what kind of things you want to mention. You can do all the experiments. So I'm going to get this one and I can simply come back on top of here and I'm going to simply return it. So let's call this return and I'll say please provid provide all the DEL details for swap. That's it. Got it? Now let's test this out and it will work fine. So here we got it. Now we can click on that. We can pass the information, select the token. This is the one we have. I can come back here, copy, commit, click on this, paste here, select, and if I call this without, it's going to throw the error message. You can see. I hope you guys can see that. If I call this, you can see please provide all the details. Looks fine. This one is working fine. If I try to do the swap and call it exchange, it's going to do that. You can simply display the loader. Here it says make sure to confirm that one and token see to balance is displaying. So you can do all of the stuffs. This looks absolutely great. So with that, we have done with this entire application. I hope you guys have followed so far what we have done. What are the changes we have done? This is the one. This is all the libraries we are using. This is all we have. We have taken this loader state. So you can simply display the loader, but I want you to leave on, you guys. Simply display the loader, or we can display that. There's no problem in that. So let's try to display the loader. So we already have the data. Because why should I leave it as an incomplete application? Let's complete this one. So come back here. Here we have this. And let's come back here in the component section. And we don't have anything here. We have this preloader, but I'm not going to use that. Let's call this LOADER loader.jsx. And let's type RAFCE. We got that. And we're not going to code that. I'm going to use this particular platform, Universal. And here you will find all the different components which you can use it. Come back to the all. And here you can call for loader. And you can pick any one. So I'll take this one. This one looks pretty good and interesting. So HTML we have to get. Copy the HTML. Come back here. And all we have to do is to simply paste here. That's the HTML we have. Now we have to get the CSS. So simply copy this one. And now we can simply go back to the global CSS. And here we have that all. So simply come here and paste here. So that's our CSS file. So now what we can do is come back here. Let's try to import, replicate that, change this to loader. And this is what we have. Paste here, copy, and that's what we can simply paste here. Loader. Good. Now close this one. We can close this one. We got the loader and we have the loader. Now simply copy this one and we can come back. Just remove this one. We don't need this. We can come back to the index page and here we can simply import that loader. Once we have the loader, here we can simply call it. So like this is the one we have. I'm going to come back here and say if we have the loader, like loading loader, we'll say loader. If loader is true, then we can take a div, and we already have this class. It's going to keep the entire section in the middle, and I have the loader. I'm going to simply call that. loader. If I turn this to, by default will first turn true, you can see the loader is working fine. Here we can see the loader is working fine. We have the loader. If I come back in the code and try to remove this, it will not display the loader. Got it, it's gone. Now what I want you, come back here. So our loader is working fine. Here we are in the context, and if I simply take you, not in the context, I can take you to here, and here we have taken this loader. So simply copy this one. By default it's false, and when the user will call this particular function, we have to turn the loader. So I'll simply call this loader to true, and once the entire transaction is getting completed, so I'm going to simply turn that to false. So here we are setting up the notification bar. So this is the notification bar. So before set it, then I can simply turn it to false, false, and it will work fine. Let's do the transaction one more time. Now I can come back here in the fork one, and here we have, go to the script deployed, and here we have that one. Copy, come back here, click on this, paste here. We got the font selected, you can see. Come back here, copy, go to the second portion, paste here, got it. And I want to get this to, like, let's say 5. That's doesn't mean. And here you can see loader is working fine. Confirm, and the transaction went through because we are doing on the forknet, so it will happen very quickly. But when you will do the transaction on the actual net, it's going to work fine. Take a little bit time. So with that, we are done with this entire application. Or if I come back here, you can see here we have this icons are missing. So I want you to come back here on the React icon, and let's type for social. So let's quickly give the icons. So let's say social, social, and here you will have bunch of icons which you can install. So okay, social, hit enter, and here it's searching for the icon. I don't know why it's what happened. I type social, hit enter, and it's going to give you the social media icons which we're going to simply plug into our application. So my net is somehow a little slow because I don't know why. So let's do one thing. Let's clean up this because we have tested all of that. Close this one, close this one. This is the loader, looks fine, and I can simply close this context. I want you to just understand everything, that how we have done this. Let's come back to the footer, and that's what we're going to add the loader here. Come back here. The moment I'm recording this library is taking a lot of time for loading all the icon. Social, you can see I'm searching, but it's not coming, it's taking some time. I don't know how they have optimized this particular platform, but you know the drill. What do you have to do? We have simply imported the icons a lot of time in our different components. So if I go back to the features, not in the feature, footer, header, here you can see, no, not in the header, in the hero section, here we have. So all we have to do is to simply import the icons, and the way we have called the icons, exactly that's the way we have to simply call it. So where is the icon we have called? If I simply call this find, no, we haven't used this icon here, but you know the drill, how you have to do it. That's a pretty easy, which I'm going to leave on you guys. Let's see. No, still we haven't got it. So that's the only thing I want to cover. Hope you guys have understood that what exactly we have done. This is absolutely amazing application which you have to include in your portfolio to understand how exactly the Uniswap contract work and how you can perform the swap. So this section is very important, the way we have built the logic, the way we are using the packages, the way we are getting this call data, the way we are getting all of this information. I want you to just spend some time. Once you complete this entire project, I want you to spend at least 2 days. Try to rebuild this strategy, because there is tons of way which you can simply build a model for provide a better swap which can give them better return on their investment when they will swap the token. So this is a very good platform where you can do all the experiment and everything is dynamic. Okay, so with that, I'm ending this video, and I hope you guys have checked the course which I have launched, because that will teach you every single thing which you have to know about the blockchain development. And here you can see, before I take you there, here we have the icons. So if I want to get this one T2, I can simply click on this, I can copy that one, I can come back here. So let's quickly attach this so you guys can do it by your own. Here we got the icon. You can get as many icon as you want. If you want to get this LinkedIn, all you have to do is to simply get this one, come paste here, and here we have. So simply copy this one, and I can simply come all the way down where we have the rows. This is the copyright section we have. This is the icon. So simply do one thing, open this one, paste here, and close this up. And that's the only thing you have to do. If you come back here in the application, here it's mismatch, but that's a very easy fix. All you have to do is to remove this classes. So this is the classes we have. Remove this, and that will work fine. Here we got it. Or you can simply provide this FA, because that's going to be a internal class, not the font awesome class. And here we have. And you can remove that one, and you can simply replace in all the places, and it will work fine. So if I do that, let me show you. This one is going to be Twitter. You have to add it. Okay, I'm just doing it randomly, but you can simply do the modification. Got it? All the icons are displaying fine. Those looks for pretty good. So we have tested all of things. Let's do one more test final time before we actually leave it. If I click on this exchange, here we have the loader, opening the MetaMask, confirm, balance is 0. So this application looks good. Now I'm going to simply close this one, and come back here, the blockchain coder. Here you will find some valuable resources which you can simply get it. Make sure to come back here. So here I've got it. Make sure to come and check this particular course. This will teach you every single thing which you have to know as a blockchain developer. So we have covered most of the important modules that we have written every single thing custom from here. So you will master Solidity programming language. You will master some of the environment setup. You will master the project. This is the one of the biggest project you're going to build. You're going to learn about the data structure, that how you can interact with the multiple contract to build something big. And here we have this some crash courses about the important tools which you have to know, like MetaMask, Hardhat, Tailwind, React, CSS, HTML overview. So there is tons of things. And if you want to get the starter file of this particular project or the final code, you can simply come back here, go back to the course sections, and this is going to load out all the project we have built on our channel. So make sure to come and check. Here we have tons of project. Try to build at least 5 projects for different industries. So we have the NFT, we have Uniswap, we have front end, we have back end. So check all of that. Once you do build 5 of them, you will have a complete understanding about the what are the tools and technology you have to get yourself familiar. So make sure to come and check all of that. And this is the project we have built. Click on that and you can get the starter file and the final code from here. So when you will take the final code, you're going to give your valuable contribution to our team, which is going to bring more courses like that. So I want you to come and have a look, spend some time and pick a project and start building. So hope you guys have got an amazing idea that what exactly we have built and what you're going to learn in this. So this is one of the projects which you have to include in your portfolio. With that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.